Hey everyone, it's Mari. Thank you so much for joining me today here on my channel. I am going to be creating a 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout here, starting off with a piece of white cardstock. And this is the photograph that I'm going to be scrapbooking and documenting with here today. The cardstock I'm using is some basil marshmallow cardstock, and I've actually already added some Vichy Boutin gesso to the paper, and it's dry. And I'm just showing you the three colors of Distress Oxide ink here that I'm going to be using, which is Stormy Sky, Scattered Straw, and Tattered Rose. Now I'm going to start off here with the Stormy Sky color, and I'm going to just use one of the Vichy Boutin water brushes. I'm going to apply some of this ink onto the paper. First, I'm just going to attempt to use that water brush, and then I'll just flip that piece of plastic over and just add the paint, or sorry, the ink on there a little bit more quickly, just by using that packaging technique that way. And I'm just doing some splatters as well here using that brush, and just taking a wet wipe and absorbing some of the excess ink there, just so it dries a little bit more quickly. Now I'm going to use exactly that same process for the Scattered Straw and the Tattered Rose, and you'll just see me going through that process here now, adding those other two colors. And I really just wanted these colors to be really subtle in the background. They definitely are part of the color palette for the Pebbles and Jen Hadfield Along the Way collection, which is a collection that I'm going to be using to create this layout here today. So I'm just, like I said, trying to just really create a really subtle background, and just with a little bit of that complementary color palette. So I'm just going to finish that up here, and you'll just see me working away. I'm not 100% happy with my setup in my new craft room here since I moved. I'm still kind of working through a process of figuring out how I want to set everything up. If I want to set it up exactly like it was in my old craft room before we moved. So I'm still kind of working that out, so bear with me here as I go through those growing pains. I know the lighting's not really quite right, and I don't really have my camera set up quite right either here. So what you see me doing here is I'm working with one of the cut files from the Scrapbook Nerd shop. If you go into the online shop, and I will leave a link in the description box below, over on the left side there's a spot there that says free downloads. And you can go in there. There's a bunch of really great cut files that have mostly, I think, been created by the cut shop. And they're awesome cut files. I found this one, it was perfect for the theme, for the layout, and what I wanted to do here. So I just added a little bit of liquid adhesive to the back of the cut file. And then I just laid it onto some of the pattern paper that's part of the 6x6 paper pad from Along the Way. And now you can just see that I'm trimming off the excess around those different letters in that title piece. So this isn't anything new. I'm sure you've seen people do this 100 times. It's a really, really simple and easy way to add some color and interest to a large title using a cut file. So what I did was I cut the cut file out twice. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it in white or black. I ended up using a combination, obviously, as you can see here, of white and black. And there's just going to be a few pops of black here throughout this layout. So I really like how that looks. Now I'm just showing you here, I want to create a little bit of horizontal pattern behind my different elements here that I'm adding in. So I'm just taking a pencil here just so that I can kind of have an idea of where I want this pattern to go. This is either an Echo Park or Carta stencil. I will try to remember to leave a link in the Scrapbook Nerd shop to this particular stencil. I know that Joy carries a lot of these 6x6 stencils over in the shop, and they are super awesome to have in your stash because you can use them so many different ways. So you can just see I'm just taking my distress tool, and I'm just adding a little bit of that Stormy Sky and that herringbone pattern in the center of the layout, just to kind of add a little bit more interest in another layer. And the beautiful thing about mixed media is you can just keep going with your layers. Now I am going to activate that a little bit with some water here. So I just spritzed that with my spritzing tool there, just a little water spritzer. And I just picked up the excess there with some paper towel. Now I'm going to be using some Nouveau Glimmer paste, and I'm not sure if Joy has this in the shop, but you could use any glitter paste. for this. It wouldn't matter, or any kind of paste for that matter. I wanted to put this glittery stuff on here because the photograph is a winter photo, and I thought that the stencil kind of almost looked a little bit like snowflakes, and although it's actually a floral stencil, and I'm going to be using some flowers on this layout as well, so it kind of served both of those purposes. So you could just see I ran that through that stencil with a spatula or a palette knife, and I've let that dry now, and now I'm just taking some Vicky Bouton acrylic paints in 3 different colors, and I'm just watering them down a little bit, and I'm adding some splatters to my layout in that same color palette. This is just a little bit brighter than what's on there with that Distress ink. It just adds a little bit of a brighter pop of color with those splatters, and I like how that looks, and I like how, once again, it really complements the colors from along the way. So I'm just going to splatter away here and get that on there. And now I'm going to start to work with my photograph here pretty quick. I've decided to size down my white paper, and I'm going to adhere that onto a piece of the really nice diagonal plaid paper that's part of the 12 by 12 paper pad from along the way as well. I really like how that frames in my layout. I do this lots. If you follow me here on YouTube, you've seen me do this a zillion times. I really like putting a frame on my layout. I like how it finishes it up, and I just like that look. So now I'm going to create some dimension with that cut file title here, just by taking some foam tape and adding that to the back, and that's just going to give that, like I said, just some nice dimension on the layout. The theme over at Scrapbook Nerd this week is change and new beginnings. And well, I guess you probably all know this by now, and you're probably really sick of hearing me talk about it, but we just recently moved from our home of 22 years. It was quite an undertaking. I am not exaggerating when I tell you I thought I might not survive it. It was really hard. It was hard emotionally, and it was hard physically. I mean, we were both trying to work and pack and get ready for the holidays and have company and move to a city 3 hours away from us, pack up a home that we've been living in for a really long time. It was really challenging. I have to say it's probably the biggest challenge that we have faced here in a while, and it's been quite a challenging year for us, actually, and we've had lots of changes, and yeah, so it was a big one. And so the theme for this week was really timely for me, actually. And I really did enjoy working on this layout. The photograph is a picture of my husband and our daughter and our son. This is the last time that all 4 of us were together at the house. This was during the month of December, and we had a little gathering, just the 4 of us. We didn't even have anybody else at our house, and just kind of, really had a nice visit. It was short, but it was a nice visit, and just got to just sort of say goodbye together to the house. So yeah, I like this photo. It's actually really nice. You could see we had a lot of snow at that time, but it's the weather's been kind of weird. We've had lots of melting and freezing and more snow, and I don't know if it's climate change or what, but I think it was kind of neat that at this particular time anyways, we did have a lot of seasonal weather, and it was nice to take the photo at that time. So actually, I lied, I guess. My mother-in-law took this photo, so she was over at the house for part of the day for this, and so she took the photo. I just really like how this particular collection had lots of images of houses and stuff in it. And I like this particular die cut that said, "Let's stay home," and then the little sentiment piece over top of that says memories. Yeah, the easiest thing would definitely have been for us to stay there in that house. But to see family, to see our daughter and her husband, we have to drive 3 hours to do that, and that's not easy. And we just decided, as we are both going to be retiring here this summer, that it's just time. It's time to make that move and be closer to family. So I think it'll be good. We actually really enjoy the city, and we love the house that we bought, and we're busy renovating it and having lots of fun with that. So it's all good, right? Change is good. Sometimes you need to mix it up a little bit and get outside of your comfort zone and do something different. So we're definitely doing that in a big way. I do apologize. I feel like probably you've had to keep your head at an angle to watch me create this layout. Like I said, my setup is not really quite right yet, but I'm working on it. You can just see how I'm using all of the different embellishments from along the way. They have gorgeous layered stickers in this collection and wonderful die cuts and just some really, really fun bits and pieces. I find that these Jen Hadfield collections are a must for me. I really do enjoy them, and I really, really love this one. I like the colors. I like all of the little sentiments and everything that's part of this collection. So make sure you check it out over at the shop. I will leave, like I said, a link to the Scrapbook Nerd online shop. Now I just went onto my computer, onto Microsoft Word, and I just typed up my my journaling here. I'm just journaling about how this was the last time we were all together here at our home, and I'm going to just put the smaller title for the journaling home above the journaling in some foam alphas, and those are just from those actually come from Paige Evans' Whimsical collection, and I know Joy has the entire collection of Whimsical in the shop as well. I just wanted to finish off here with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold. Just put some gold splatters on there because some of the papers that I've used do have gold foiling, and some of the embellishments have gold foiling as well. So I'm just finishing up with that. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I really had a lot of fun creating this layout. It feels so good to be back in my scrap space and creating again, and I'm glad to be back here on YouTube making some more videos. So hey, Happy New Year everybody, and I will see you again here on my channel. Bye bye.